Have you ever wondered what waking up without pressure feels like? Just you, your breath, and an open day ahead. For almost all of human history, this wasn't a fantasy. It was simply how life began every single morning. No calendar, no deadlines, just one quiet question. What feels right to do today? That freedom lasted for hundreds of thousands of years. Our ancestors never called it freedom because it was normal. Today, many of us trade most of our lives for work, but that wasn't how humans were designed to live. In 1963, one researcher asked a simple question. The answer quietly challenged everything we believed about work. He watched one of the last hunter-gatherer societies. Their daily rhythm looked surprisingly familiar and deeply human. They gathered food only when needed. The rest of their days belonged to conversation, laughter, creativity, and simply living. Imagine having enough time to breathe without feeling guilty. That wasn't laziness. That was everyday life. If stories like this speak to something inside you, subscribe to the Auralis. We have only just begun. Richard Lee expected to document hardship. Instead, he discovered something modern people rarely experience: enough time. You might wonder if this was unique. It wasn't. The evidence keeps appearing across continents and across generations. The next clues weren't written in books. They were preserved quietly inside ancient bones, waiting beneath the earth. Those bones revealed an uncomfortable truth. Farming didn't immediately create healthier lives. It often demanded much more from the body. Earlier humans stood taller, moved differently, and carried fewer signs of endless repetitive labor throughout their lives. Their bodies tell a quiet story. Survival mattered, but constant exhaustion was never the natural human condition. Then archaeologists found something impossible to ignore: beauty created by people who supposedly struggled every waking moment. Deep inside a cave in France, untouched for thousands of years, an ancient imagination was still waiting to meet us. Every brushstroke whispers the same question: who creates something this beautiful if survival is the only priority? If this journey is changing how you see yourself, subscribe to the Auralis. The most surprising discoveries are still ahead. Those paintings weren't made to earn money or fame. They were created because the human mind longs to express itself. The same desire appeared elsewhere. Tiny shell beads shaped with patience became silent symbols of beauty and belonging. Someone willingly walked miles just to collect shells, not because they had to, because beauty already mattered. Hours passed carving each tiny hole. Time wasn't an enemy. It was something people could gently spend. Then came music. A simple bone flute carried something no hunter truly needed, but every heart could understand. Imagine the first melody echoing through the night. No audience, no applause, just people sharing a peaceful evening together. Again and again, archaeology reveals the same quiet pattern. Humans naturally create whenever survival leaves them enough space. Perhaps creativity isn't a luxury after all. Maybe it is one of the oldest instincts we've ever carried. What if your happiest moments were never meant to be productive? What if they were simply meant to be lived? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine waking beside a quiet fire and having nowhere you must be. Morning arrives quietly. Last night's fire still glows and breakfast is whatever yesterday generously left behind. No one rushes. People eat together, laugh together, and slowly decide what the day might become. Some choose to gather food. Others simply stay behind. No one measures your worth by constant activity. If enough food remains, staying in camp isn't laziness, it's wisdom. Nature already provided what was needed. Someone sharpens a spear. Another patiently weaves a basket. Each movement feels calm instead of rushed. No deadlines, no performance reviews. Skill itself becomes the quiet reward for taking your time. Mastering something wasn't about becoming richer. It was about becoming someone others could trust. When the hunt begins, nobody wastes energy sprinting. Humans win through patience, rhythm, and remarkable endurance. Hours later, everyone returns together. The food belongs to the group, never only to the hunter. If this slower rhythm feels strangely familiar, subscribe to the Auralis. Your oldest memories may be waking up. The journey home is never just about food. It's about knowing everyone will eat because everyone belongs. By early afternoon, survival is already behind you. The rest of the day is simply life unfolding naturally. This is the part modern minds struggle to imagine. Having free time without feeling guilty about it. Children laugh nearby, friends share stories, someone quietly plays music while another rests beneath the trees. Nobody asks whether you're being productive. Your presence is already enough for the people around you. Relationships become the real wealth. Trust, kindness, and shared memories matter far more than possessions ever could. Yet when survival depends on one another, every conversation quietly becomes an investment in tomorrow. As the sun slowly disappears, something changes. The world grows quieter, and imagination begins to awaken. Around the fire, people no longer discuss survival. They begin sharing dreams, memories, and stories that outlive generations. If these forgotten moments feel strangely familiar, subscribe to the Auralis. We're only beginning to remember who we are. Night doesn't end the day, it simply opens another chapter, quieter, slower, and filled with stories around the fire. Daylight solves practical problems. Darkness invites deeper questions that only a peaceful mind has time to ask. Legends are born. Children listen closely while adults quietly pass wisdom from one generation to the next. Long before books existed, stories carried memory, identity, and everything a community believed about the world. Only when people feel safe does imagination truly flourish. Perhaps that's where civilization quietly began. Sleep comes gently, then pauses. For centuries, waking in the middle of the night felt completely natural. Those quiet hours weren't feared. They were moments for reflection, prayer, conversation, or simply listening to the silence. Then everything changed. Fields replaced forests, seasons became schedules, and freedom slowly turned into obligation. Agriculture fed more mouths, but it quietly demanded more hours, more effort, and eventually, more of our lives. The clock arrived much later, yet long before it hung on walls, it had already begun shaping human lives. Little by little, time stopped feeling like a gift. It became something we constantly owed to someone else. Maybe progress gave us comfort, but somewhere along the way, we quietly forgot how to simply exist. Your ancestors weren't perfect, but they understood something many of us spend a lifetime trying to rediscover. Perhaps the life you're searching for isn't ahead of you. Maybe part of it has always been quietly behind you. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to the Auralis. Sometimes the oldest answers are the ones we need most.